What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We just got home. We're sitting in the car right now, and I was thinking about how we did Billy's harness bar install and all that stuff. And I was thinking about how I have already installed mine, as you guys can tell. I have my harnesses and my harness bar. But the more I was thinking about it, even though I can't do a true installation video, I would still like to do like a little highlight of what you guys are looking at when you guys are going to be installing your harness bar. It's pretty basic, kind of like Billy's, but definitely there's a few more steps that you have to do as opposed to just basically popping off the old bolts and putting the new ones on. So we're going to take a look at all the little steps. Again, we're not going to install the actual harness bar, but I'm going to show you exactly what you are going to be looking at when you guys are. So stay tuned, and we're going to get looking at it right now. All right, guys. So unlike Billy's in the WRX video, there are going to be a few extra steps, as I said, you're going to have to do. First off, with installing the harness bar, you're going to have to pull the seat, as well as you're going to have to pull off the side panel here, as well as this panel here. And technically you're supposed to pull off this top panel here, but I got away with that. I'll show you how you can get away with that as well. But as I said, you got to pull off this one, that panel here. This is going to be the whole entire panel, and the seat as well, just makes getting this panel off a little bit easier. So with the seat, guys, there is one bolt right there, and literally all you're doing is basically teetering the seat back. There's a little clip that's basically a U-clip up top right in the middle of the seat. So pushing down in the back of the seat will pop up. So very easy. The side panel here, this is all clips. There might be a bolt back there, I'm not entirely sure, but mainly it's just clips. Very easy to get out. Just start at one end and just slowly pop it out, and you'll have no problem with that one. This panel here, which is gonna have to have a little bit of trimming, is done well. I'll show you that in a second. There are two bolts basically right at the base of it. So once you get off this panel, you'll be able to see those there. Very easy. I think they're 10 millimeter. Don't quote me on that, but you will take those out as well. Once you get all that out, you are going to take this top piece off as well here. This is the top piece of the whole pillar itself. And only because you will have to do a little bit of trimming to actually get your mount on your harness bar. This is a Cipher harness bar, by the way, to fit actually up in there. This little piece of plastic extends back here on your model, so you will have to trim that back just so you can get the mount fitted up in there. But once it is done, as you guys can see, a little hard to see a little bit right now, but it looks very nice once everything is put back together, very clean. Another reason why you want to pull the seat in this installation as well is for the back strut bar. So this bar is going to go from your harness bar itself down to basically the seat belt mount for that back end. So what you're going to do is there's a little, again, that seat belt is going to bolt right down there at the bottom. You have an L bracket that comes with this harness bar, and you're going to bolt one end to that seat belt and then one end to the harness, the strut bar itself, going up to the harness bar. So very simple in that aspect. All right, guys, and then once you have all your panels off, including your seat and all that stuff, again, the harness bar will not be installed yet, but it's very simple and straightforward from there. As I said, you're going to want to cut off about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of this plastic piece up top here, just to bring it back so you can have your mount for your harness bar up there. And then after that, you can go ahead and start installing pieces. So once you're ready to go ahead and install, you kind of have an option. You can leave your stock seatbelt or basically put your harness bar, the bracket here, out away from the seatbelt itself. I went ahead and went that route because I went ahead and kept my seatbelt itself, just in case, anybody doesn't want to use the harnesses, or just for, casual driving as opposed to needing the harnesses for more track days and all that stuff. So I left mine all intact. You go ahead and bolt that on at top, and you want to make it sure it's actually pretty tight, because once you get that done, you have to put the plastic cover on before you put the harness on. So what I did is I test fitted everything, and then right before I put this piece back on, I ended up taking the harness back off, and then I went ahead and tightened everything down, then put the plastic back on. But if you're pretty sure on where you want it, and again, there is a little bit of give, not right now, but once you have, before you put the harness bar on itself, there's a little bit of give in that plate. So you can go ahead and tighten that one down as much as you can, and then go ahead and throw this piece back on, and then again, bolt those two bolts back on here. But go ahead and leave the bottom panel off still. This will come to my first issue I ran into with the kit. The harness bar itself, again, this is made for the FRS. It is the Cipher, and this is the model they sell just for the FRS and BRZ. Mine was, either the harness bar was a little short, or the brackets weren't bent enough. So actually I was about 1/4 inch off on either side, or I take it back, on one side, about 1/8 inch off between the two. So I ended up actually taking off both brackets, and I went ahead to keep everything straight. I bent them all equally, just, 1/16, 1/8 of an inch up here. I didn't bend down here, so right there at the top end, and actually everything fit up really nice. Not saying you'll have that issue, but it's just something that I did run into. But as I said, there is that bracket down here. So a 9-degree bracket here for the bottom of your strut bar going up to your harness bar itself. Go ahead and put that in. Then you're gonna, after that has been installed and all that good stuff, you can go ahead and throw your panels back on the side because you really aren't gonna need to get that access anymore. But go ahead and leave the seat off just so you can get the bottom bolts in that harness or that strut bar again tightened down. But all right, guys, so then once you do in fact get your harness bar installed, as I said, it's very straightforward. Once you get those brackets on the side and then you get that bottom part of your strut bar down here installed, basically you're just throwing in your harness bar, bolting it down with the provided hardware, and then you're gonna go ahead and bolt down your strut bar. Make sure everything is tight. These are twistable, so you twist them and then you have your lock nut here. So you lock everything down, you finish putting back your seats on, and that's really about it. It's a very simple install. The only few things, as I said, a little bit different than Billy's, is that you do have to pop off the panels on the side and you do have to take the seat out of the back end. But not too many more issues with that one. As I said, you can remove the seatbelt yourself, or you can leave it like I did. Really, it's out of the way. Not an issue at all. And then again, you can use it while if you want to or not, or you want to use the harnesses. So it's your choice on that one. I like to give them the option. I am going to put new seats in here at some point, but for now, these are working just fine. With regards to harness, we'll go ahead and talk about that next. All right, guys, little camera swap real quick. My GoPro decided to die. Got too much footage on today. Don't have my charger with me. But, so back to the harnesses real quick. I do have some Sparco Racing Harnesses. I basically tied my excess up here. That's what you're seeing right there. But strapped it up top, ran it down into the seat. I know these are not designed for running through headrests and all that. These will be replaced at some point, but these work fine for right now. And then what I ended up doing is I have one of my ends of my harness bar, or my racing harnesses, bolted down to the bottom of the seatbelt. And then the other one on the other side, this is a Torx head. So it's actually, you can't even see it. But on the other leg of the seat itself is where I hooked up the other end of the harness. I'm probably actually gonna move this down there as well. These are a Torx, I'm pretty sure they're Torx 10. If they're not, I'll make a little note in the video. But yeah, they're a little bit of a trick to get out. So if you don't have that Torx head bit, don't try to get them out because you will not be able to. But as I said, Sparco Racing Harnesses, installed them. I didn't leave the seatbelt itself in there just to give options. But yeah, so that's everything, guys. I know it's not a true installation video, but it's just some little tricks and some hints to get you guys to where you want to go, and just to kind of show you what you guys are in for when you guys are going to be putting in your harness bar and all that. As I said, it is a Cipher harness bar, the one made exactly for the BRZ and FRS. Their other options are they have the agency power one. I just went with this one just because of price. And, you know, I have not been disappointed. It is very secure. Actually shaking it shakes the whole car. So I love it. But yeah, so there's it is, guys. I know it's a short little video, but yeah, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Again, we're going to do the turbo video very soon. Probably in end of January-ish. So stay tuned for that one. So thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.